There are places so beautiful, they almost don't seem real. Nu'uanu Pali on the Hawaiian island of Oʻahu is one of them. Steep green mountains, strong ocean winds, and cliffs that stretch hundreds of meters above the valley below. Every year, thousands of visitors stop there to admire the view. But on one morning in March 2025, that same landscape became the setting for one of Hawaii's most puzzling criminal cases. Tonight, we're going to talk about a married couple who walked onto a hiking trail together. And only one thing is certain: they both survived. But afterward, each accused the other of attempted murder. Welcome to the podcast, You Can't Unhear. On March 24th, 2025, two Canadian nurses, Amanda Morris and Sarah Buxbaum, began hiking the Pali Trail. Only a few minutes into the hike, they heard raised voices echoing through the cliffs. At first, they assumed it was just another couple arguing. Then they saw a woman running toward them. She was bleeding heavily from the head, terrified, barely able to speak. The woman identified herself as Arielle Konig. She told the nurses that her husband had just tried to kill her. The husband she was talking about was Dr. Gerhardt Konig, a 47-year-old anesthesiologist. From the outside, their family looked almost ideal. Gerhardt had rebuilt his life after a previous marriage. He met Arielle through a dating app in 2016, and the two married 2 years later. Together they had 2 young sons. Friends described them as adventurous, affectionate, and devoted to their family. In 2023, they relocated from Pittsburgh to Maui, where Gerhardt joined Maui Memorial Hospital, while Arielle continued working remotely as a project manager in the energy industry. For years, everything appeared normal, until late 2024. According to Gerhardt, he began noticing subtle changes. Arielle spent more time on her phone. She turned the screen away whenever he walked into the room. Notifications were muted. Messages disappeared almost as quickly as they arrived. Eventually, his curiosity overcame him. One night, while Arielle was asleep, he looked through her phone. What he found would change their marriage forever. Gerhardt discovered frequent WhatsApp conversations between Arielle and a senior executive from her workplace named Jeffrey Miller. The messages weren't work-related. They stretched late into the night, continued through weekends, and even included private jokes that only the two of them understood. When confronted, Arielle admitted the relationship had become emotionally close. She insisted it had never become physical. Gerhardt didn't see much difference. To him, the trust had already been broken. The couple tried to repair their marriage. They attended counseling, read books together, agreed to spend 2 years trying to rebuild what had been damaged. For a while, it seemed to work. Arguments became less frequent. The atmosphere at home improved. And when Arielle's 36th birthday approached, Gerhardt planned what he hoped would become a fresh start. A romantic trip to Oʻahu. He booked hotels, planned dinners, bought her a necklace, even wrote a birthday card telling her she was the heart of their family. By all accounts, Arielle was deeply moved. She cried after reading it. She later believed the trip marked a turning point in their relationship. Neither of them could have imagined that less than 24 hours later, their marriage would collapse on the edge of a cliff. On the morning of March 24th, they drove to Nu'uanu Pali. They took photographs, shared moments from the hike with family. Everything appeared perfectly ordinary. Then, at approximately 10:28 a.m., only minutes after beginning the trail, something happened. Something no camera recorded. Something witnessed by only 2 people. And from that moment forward, their stories would never be the same. When police arrived at Nu'uanu Pali, they found 2 very different stories, and almost no physical evidence that could clearly prove either one. There were no surveillance cameras, no recordings, no independent witnesses to the struggle itself. Only 2 people, each insisting the other had tried to kill them. Gerhardt told investigators that after the couple argued about Arielle's relationship with Jeffrey Miller, he walked away to calm himself. A few moments later, he decided to return. According to him, Arielle apologized for the argument and the tension between them eased. Then, she suggested taking a selfie near the edge of the cliff. Gerhardt claimed that as soon as they posed for the photo, Arielle suddenly shoved him toward the cliff. He said he managed to regain his balance before falling. When he turned around in disbelief, Arielle began screaming for help. He insisted he grabbed her arms only because he was confused and wanted to know what she was doing. According to his account, Arielle then pulled both of them to the ground, grabbed his wrists, squeezed his testicles, and struck him with a rock. He admitted taking the rock away and hitting her in self-defense before walking away in shock. Arielle's account was dramatically different. She agreed they argued. She agreed Gerhardt walked away. She even agreed that they eventually spoke again. But from there, their stories completely separated. Arielle told investigators that Gerhardt wanted to take a selfie dangerously close to the cliff's edge. She refused. She didn't feel safe. According to Arielle, that refusal changed everything. She said Gerhardt suddenly grabbed her and tried forcing her closer to the cliff while shouting that he was tired of everything. Fearing she would be pushed over the edge, she deliberately threw herself toward nearby bushes to stop herself from falling. Then, she said the attack began. Arielle claimed Gerhardt pinned her to the ground. While struggling beneath him, she said she saw something that terrified her. A syringe. She believed he intended to inject her with medication. She pushed his arm away, causing the syringe to fall. According to Arielle, Gerhardt reached for another one while telling her, "You're finished." Terrified, she bit his arm and fought back with everything she had. She screamed repeatedly, hoping someone would hear her. Those screams would eventually reach Amanda and Sarah. The 2 Canadian nurses later became some of the most important witnesses in the trial. But their testimony wasn't as straightforward as many expected. Neither woman actually saw how the confrontation began. Neither witnessed who attacked first. Sarah testified that she saw Arielle injured and desperately asking for help. She also remembered making eye contact with Gerhardt for several seconds. She described his expression as cold, almost emotionless. It was something she said she would never forget. But she also admitted she never saw him holding a rock. She never saw a syringe, and she never witnessed the actual assault. The physical evidence created even more uncertainty. Investigators searched the entire area. Despite Arielle's account, the syringe she described was never recovered. Police did find medical supplies inside Gerhardt's backpack, including syringes commonly used in his profession as an anesthesiologist. Gerhardt explained that carrying emergency medical equipment had become a habit because of his work. Investigators couldn't prove whether any of those items had been used during the incident. Medical experts also examined Arielle's injuries. They confirmed she had suffered significant head trauma. However, some testimony raised questions. Arielle believed she had been struck around 10 times with a rock. Doctors testified that while her injuries were serious, they were not entirely consistent with that number of blows. Gerhardt, meanwhile, admitted striking her, but insisted it happened only twice while trying to defend himself. Neither version could be completely confirmed or completely disproved. Then came one piece of evidence that neither side expected: Gerhardt's own phone calls. Shortly after leaving the trail, he contacted his teenage son, Emil. During the FaceTime call, Gerhardt spoke emotionally about the affair. According to Emil's testimony, his father admitted trying to kill Arielle and said he couldn't return home because he intended to end his own life. When Emil noticed blood on his father's clothing and asked whose it was, Gerhardt answered that it belonged to Arielle. About an hour later, he called again, this time asking whether Emil had told anyone. When Emil answered yes, Gerhardt reportedly became distressed and said, "I guess I have to jump before the police find me." The trial lasted more than a year. Each side argued the other had manipulated the story. Each insisted they were the true victim. After nearly 8 hours of deliberation, the jury reached its decision. Gerhardt Konig was found not guilty of attempted murder. However, the jury found him guilty of assault under the influence of extreme emotional disturbance, concluding that while they were not convinced prosecutors had proven an intentional attempt to kill beyond a reasonable doubt, they believed he had unlawfully and violently attacked Arielle during the confrontation. He now faces a prison sentence of up to 20 years. Perhaps that's why this case continues to divide people. Some believe Arielle's account from beginning to end. Others point to the inconsistencies, the missing syringe, and the unanswered questions. The jury reached its verdict, but that doesn't necessarily answer every question, because only 2 people truly know what happened on that cliff. One says she survived an attempted murder. The other says he survived an attack, and everything that followed was misunderstood. Maybe the hardest cases aren't the ones with no evidence. They're the ones with just enough evidence to make you question both sides. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow this podcast, because every day we uncover another story that blurs the line between truth, memory, and the mysteries that remain long after the verdict. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.